Hey, this is Byron Horton with the Whitetail Experience, and today I just wanted to go over, I've had the pocket arm now for a good bit. I wanted to run through some things that I've learned about it and kind of just my general overall thoughts. I have put my hands on 4 camera arms in the last couple years of filming, being a solo filmer, being a mobile solo filmer. So I feel like a lot of the perspective that I bring is for those guys that are also filming their hunts as well as packing in standing sticks or a saddle or whatever. Obviously, like we've had the Hawk arm that doesn't level. We've had the 4th arrow, which takes 6.5, 7 steps to set up. Comes with a fake screwdriver. And then let's see here, we've had a 3rd arm, we've had the Beast arm, and all those arms we liked 1 to 2 pieces of, but at the end of the day, you know, we were never happy. And last year we ran the Out on a Limb reach arm, and that was by far the best to date. You still have a little bit of jack around factor there because it is a base and shoulder and arm system versus the Lone Wolf Custom Gear pocket arm is all in one. And what I really like about it is, one, just how thin that profile is when packing. And I've even got the small Manfrotto head, and literally I'm just running around with this thing. I'm jamming it in bags. It's able to come out. Super, I really like that aspect of it. To me, the pocket arm was never really about the weight factor. Yes, it's going to be a lighter arm probably because it's going to be built for the, you know, this mobile filming, self-filming crowd. But to me, it was the jack around factor, and that's not getting talked about enough. Literally, when you come to the tree, it is one piece out of your bag, or if you're going to strap it to your stand, around the tree, bubble level, cinch it down, you know, and you're working the screw bolt, boom, you're hunting. So, you know, in the past, we've had several arms, like if you take the 4th arrow, base to tree, insert shoulder, fake screwdriver, find your level, arm to base. Now, camera to fluid head. With a Lone Wolf Custom Gear arm, it really just speeds up that whole process, and it's easy actually to maneuver this thing into position while hanging. So I'm a big fan of that. I feel like there's been some videos out there about the bounce, and with the small cameras that most guys that are going to be mobile hunting are using, I don't think that's going to be a huge issue at all. With the DSLR crowd or those guys bringing a little bit bigger camera gear, I've actually been, you know, in communication with Andre about maybe doing like a solid piece model, you know, to accommodate us guys grabbing the little bit heavier cameras. So, you know, I do think this hits their target consumer, and I do think the jack around factor is huge because think about, you know, your rutcation when you're filming most of your hunts. You know, you've hunted multiple days, you're tired of lugging X, Y, and Z, you finally get your stand hung, and to be jacking around, it just wears on you. And it takes away from the self-filming aspect. As much fun and cool as self-filming is it's also difficult to do on a day in and day out. Add the mobile hunting aspect to it. I feel like this arm will keep you filming, and maybe then you take the camera arm. So, something I learned when setting up is actually this top thread here, thread bolt guy, you want him 90% or 95% the way out. You don't want to try and set this thing out with like an inch of drag. So go ahead and back this guy out so you can barely see him. And basically your first step is to get this on the tree and get all the slack out of your belt. You don't want any sort of turns with your belt. That's really important because you know, you want this belt to be working at its maximum efficiency there. But this belt, it comes with a nicer buckle. It's kind of real quick and easy to get on the tree, and it's actually smaller. It's not like a tree stand buckle, so it doesn't take up a lot of room when packing, which is kind of a nice added bonus. So here you can see it. I like to kind of have this arm all the way folded up and kind of using this as my anchor to get this thing on the tree and where I need it. I think it's important that you want to start as close and tight to the tree as you can get it. You want to be eyeballing probably the best spot to kind of drive this thing in at. You don't want to set it on the biggest notch or crack or whatever. So once you take all the slack out of that belt, you've got your bubble level here, and I'll go ahead and do a cutaway to show you. I like to have that so it's just going to fall right into the center of that center point circle guy. But I want him right here on the perimeter, knowing that as this arm levels out, that bubble's gonna fall right into place there. So again, all my slacks out. Now I can pry this away from the tree a bit and get my thread started without any tension on them. So as you can see, my top screw guy is just now starting to put tension on it. And now is when I can really make sure my left to right level is gonna go into place, because I can pick this arm up this way and kind of square me up left to right, if you will. So that's when I go ahead and I pivot that. My bubble level, again, is gonna drive right into the center, but just a little adjustment right there before I drive this puppy home has been a little learning curve for me. Solid, everything's in place now. It's a simple fluid head into position. This will hold my Sony a7 III with 28-75 lens. These little, like, smaller to medium-sized camcorders is obviously the ideal as far as filming your hunts and whatnot. And something that I do notice is I feel like this base is even more secure than the Modern Assassin Out on a Limb arm. Both Dave and I ran that arm last year, and if we weren't super diligent about cranking it down, it would slip a bit with our bigger cameras. And we're running bigger cameras for the mobile crowd, if you will, and probably for 99% of the YouTube guys that aren't, you know, getting paid for footage. I just feel that this arm's gonna keep guys filming longer, and it's definitely something for myself that when I'm packing in, because I'm very mobile, that it's gonna be just that much easier to get that footage, continue to film, less pain in the ass. It's super happy with the Custom Gear pocket arm. I really like just how easy it is to pack and set up. I think out of all the arms I've used in the past, I think this one is the easiest and best to bring to the field, that day in and day out grind that, you know, we all face as hunters without cameramen. You know, we're carrying all the gear ourselves most of the time. But I think the functionality, the packability, and then the quickness and less stuff you got to bring to the tree stand to your hunt is the key selling point to the Custom Gear arm. I really don't even consider weight the awesome part of the product, if you will. So, and that's why I'm really excited to use this here in 2020. Thanks for watching.